Hello, my friends. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, wherever you are. How are you? How are you doing? Today, tomorrow, wherever you are, I'm going to talk to loneliness daddying to leadership daddying. So today's topic is loneliness daddying to leadership daddying. The reason why I brought this up is because, well, both my wife and I are both without our kids this week, and being in a blended family and they're at their other parents' place, it is a time when you reflect. It's a time when you catch up on work. It's a time when you do many things. And I think in the past for me, there have been a lot of moments where I've just been searching for what I am, what I do, who I am, feeling through those feelings and trying to really understand who I was as a dad. So I think many of you men and women out there, but I'm speaking to you men out there who can appreciate this. I wanted to talk about it because it is near and dear to me. And I feel like it will be helpful to you because there are probably moments that you're having with or without your kids right now where you feel that this is a thing. You feel like this is a really relevant thing for you. I wanted to say, firstly, number one, it is okay to miss parts of your previous relationship which involved your kids. It really is. You're going to have happy memories, good memories within your last relationship which involved your kids, and your kids were happy, and as were you. Well, in those moments anyway, in those moments that you captured with memories, feelings, you're going to reflect on them. They're going to come up for you. When you're not with them, you will. I remember when I was flying back and forth with my daughter Annabelle, and moments that I had where I was on the plane by myself. I really didn't know who I was as a dad, didn't know who I was as a man, but I was figuring that out. But I missed parts of my relationship with my ex-wife which involved my daughter. And I'd wonder to myself if this was something that would grow, or it would be something of an issue. Now, for me, it worked out because many of those moments that I had with my daughter in the past, in my last relationship, they worked out because I worked them out. I worked out those feelings. I worked out how I felt about them. And how did I do that? How did I do that exactly? Well, I can remember my daughter's second birthday. And my daughter's second birthday with my ex-wife. And it was a treasured moment because when she was one, she really didn't have any idea what was going on in her first birthday. Second birthday, she realized who she was as a human, or becoming, and she was more aware of what was going on in her environment. And those moments for me were near and dear because, well, she was cute, she was funny, and I enjoyed them. Number two, it's okay to be upset. It is okay to continue. It's okay to be upset in this moment, or in moments where you are missing your child or your children and they're at their other spouse, or they're just somewhere else. Maybe they're at a camp. Maybe that they're at maybe they are doing some sort of trip with somebody else. Missing time with them is something that comes up as a parent. I believe both in continued marriages where where it's not a blended family, it's a marriage, but in blended families as well. you miss time with them. And you miss time with them. I think this is a little bit more unique with a blended family, because when they're with your ex-spouse, your ex-wife, you wonder what it would be like to have them. And you wonder if you're wasting time. And you wonder if you're spending the time that you are spending away from them is what they really need. You wonder what they're doing. You wonder what they're doing and whether or not you could have spent that time with them. And I'm telling you, you're gonna miss them. That's just how attachment is. And it's both, there are both lingering sensations within that are both positive and negative. You're gonna work through it. Guaranteed your kids miss you too. Guaranteed. Even if you're a parent that is fighting or hasn't been with your kids for a period of time, or something else where there is a bigger issue at hand, your kids miss you. Your kids miss you. And they will exhibit this with the other parents in a way where they will be acting out. And you might not see that. And you might think that, gee, that's not really fair. And it isn't. But I'm telling you, where I'm going with this is your kids, guaranteed, they miss you when they're not with you. That is something that is very innate when you have that connection to them. Number 3, you are wondering if you have done enough for them or doing enough for them. My friends, you are doing more than enough for them. You have done more than enough for them. And if you don't think that you have, check in with yourself. Check in with your own self-worth. When I was flying back and forth with and without my youngest daughter, I had that problem. I was wondering if I was actually doing enough. But what I was reminded of by Gabor Mate is that it's all about the quality of time that you spend with them, not necessarily the quantity. Quantity is good, but it's the quality, the engagement of time. So what do you do? What do you do with these 3 things when you miss them? When you're upset that you are missing time with them and you wonder if you've done enough? What do you do? What do you do? Here's what I do. Here's what I do. And I'm getting perfecter at it. I use the time that I'm not with my children, my girls, to become a better person, to become a better dad. And what that looks like is I feel through my feelings. When they come up, I feel through them. I don't dismiss them. I don't repress them. I feel through them. They come up for a reason, and they will for you too. Another thing is, I really am an advocate for a healthy frame, for a healthy man, for a healthy body. So this includes mental health. This includes physical health. This includes nutritional health. Okay? You want to be the best that you can. And what I learned from working up north, being away from my daughter and my family at that point, if I wasn't doing everything that I could to take care of my body up there, like eating well, and I would test it, and getting enough sleep, then I was a bag of hammers. I know, you caught me too. I was a bag of hammers if I didn't get the right rest and the right food. And you might be saying, "Whoa, Jesse, camp doesn't have the most exciting and the best quality of food." Well, I'm going to tell you this: there is some food there that is of quality, and you can eat it. You make a choice, don't you? And there is also another choice. When you go up and you fly up, or you're in a place where you're driving lots, pack a cooler. Pack a cooler with all the things that are good for you, because on the road, you will get hungry, you will get thirsty, and there will be temptations. You know what I'm talking about. There would be temptations when you stop for gas, or you stop at a restaurant to eat garbage. So you gotta eat well. Work out. And this could be your me time that you spend first thing in the morning, right? Because we're working on that, right? Because of the other day, you've started doing that, right? Me time. No less than 10 minutes, no less than an hour. You're starting small, baby steps, you're working into it. Fitness. So put some burpees in there now. 51 burpees. I go with odd numbers because you go, why odd numbers? Well, it makes you think. It makes you think. It makes you remember. It forces that to memory. I use odd numbers. 51 burpees. Do 26 jumping jacks. Do 45 push-ups. Do it all. But in your me time, do it for you. That's part of the fitness. Part of the mindset. Part of the mental mindset. Number 3 on that. I've been apparently counting numbers in my head. Your career. Okay? I want you to do this near and dear. When your kids go away, there's something that sets in called escapism. I'll talk a little about it. I'm going to turn it into a wonderful video in the future to talk about. Escapism. Do not repress your feelings that you feel when your kids are not with you. Okay? Because that ends up in your body, and that ends up something of which pain agonizes you, or you end up with a bad back, you end up with a bad shoulder, you end up with a bad knee, you end up with gut issues. Okay? Feel those feels. Seriously, men, feel those feels. Don't distract yourself by throwing on Netflix, turning it on, or when you go to work, doing mindless stuff, or using that as a way to distract yourself from how you're feeling about it, okay? Because what you're doing is you're driving underground and you're not really healing it. You're not healing it. It's very important that you don't want to... what do I have written here? I have some notes, because this is important. I have a few notes, but I do this off the cuff as well. Escapism, I'm talking about that. On your days off, these are your breaks. These are your breaks. Use them as your breaks. If you need to sleep in, sleep in. If you need to go to bed early, go to bed early. Okay? You get to recuperate during this time. This is, if you do week on, week off, if you do 4 on, 4 off, if you do whatever it is, with your kids and your ex spouse, whatever it is, they need all of you. They need the best of you. They need you engaged, and they need you present. They need you in ship shape. Okay? I'm not saying that you're going to have all of those days where you're going to be ship shape. You will have your days. But do the absolute best you can. Is so crucial. What do we mean by that? I can think of times where I used my week. Well, I didn't use my week. I didn't use my days off from my daughter. And when I didn't use them to recuperate, to catch up on sleep, or to really work through my stuff. So when my daughter came back, I was emotionally unavailable. Not a cool thing. Because what happens? You miss parts of their playtime because you're doing mindless things because you're in your head. You miss their little the little things they do. You miss all of them. The little smiles, the yells, You miss the little things that they do, all the mannerisms, the characteristics of them as they grow, and their parts of you that they model and exhibit. You miss them because you're emotionally unavailable. I'm not trying to guilt you, but I am trying to bring to attention that this is something that you want to make sure that you do. On your days off, you recuperate. You become a better version of you. You are perfect, getting perfecter. And on that note, I'm going to leave it there. I've said enough. Let's chat soon. Put all this to good work. My friends, loneliness daddy to leadership daddy. Let's do this.